Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the campus of Tusculum and Pioneer Arena for this afternoon's college basketball game, featuring the Newberry Wolves and your Tusculum Pioneers. At this time, let's get our starting lineups. First, for our guests from South Carolina, the Wolves of Newberry. At guard, a 5'10" sophomore from Queensland, Australia, the number 2, Tusculum. At guard, a 5'4" junior from Shelton, Victoria, Australia, the number 4, Shelby Creighton. At guard, a 5'8" senior from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, number 5, Samara Hill. At center, a 6'3" junior from Rowlandale, Queensland, Australia, number 14, Beck Essex. And at forward, a 6-foot senior from Bathurst, New South Wales, Australia, number 42, Hannah LePaire. Assistant coach of the Wolves, Joanna Tincher. Head coach of Newberry, Sean Bailey.
And we welcome you back into Pioneer Arena, where the Tusculum Pioneers and the Newberry Wolves renewed the rivalry. Pioneers maintain a slim lead in the all-time series, 23-22. The Wolves, though, have won the last 7. Tusculum's last win came in 2014, January 3rd on that particular date. The Pioneers won at 71-56. Tusculum has the longest win streak by either team, 8 straight from January of 2001 to February of 2004. Newberry's 7 straight wins have come by an average of 17.4 points per game. So it's a team that is not only winning, but winning impressively. Let's take a look at the starting 5 for the Newberry Wolves. It'll be Kelsey McDermott, the 5'10" sophomore out of Australia. Shelby Britton, the 5'4" junior, also out of Australia, the Notre Dame college transfer. Samara Hill, the 5'8" senior guard out of Australia, North Idaho transfer. Meg Essex, the 6'3" junior center out of Australia. And Hannah LePaire, the 6-foot senior forward out of Australia. It's a Newberry Wolves team that comes in at 9-6 on the year, 4-4 in league play, winners of each of their last 2 games, and they've won 4 of the last 5, including a win against LMU. For the Tusculum Pioneers, it will be Mia Long, the 5'4" sophomore, reigning conference player of the week. Casey Johnson, the 6-foot junior from Greensboro, the preseason all-conference second-team selection last year. Yolisma Cupidon, the 5'8" junior out of Ocoee, Florida. Martoria Patton, the 5'9" junior out of Nashville, the Walter State transfer. And Sydney Wilson, the 5'9" junior out of Greensboro, North Carolina, has been putting up a impressive display of late. 14.1 points per game is what she's averaging, ranking 10th in the conference, and in free throw percentage at 75%. Made at least a three-pointer now in 14 straight games and ranks 3rd in the conference in three-pointers per game at 2.5 with a total of 32, obliterating her season best all time. As a junior, getting up extra shots for Pioneer coach Devin Carter. Impressed to see that from her, knowing what her ability is. The opening tip is stolen by Mia Long, and the Pioneers have it into the front court. Brian Staten for Justin Jeffers tonight, and Gary Roberts calls an offensive foul right off the bat, and our first terrible call of the game, unfortunately. Game station engineer is the executive producer of the Pioneer Sports Network, Nathan Humbert. Our officials tonight, Gary Roberts, we've already introduced him, and Cody Hilton and Tony Sherrill. Cody and Tony have a big job today for the Tusculum Pioneers as they enter in here today. And with a record of 10-4, 5-3 in league action. The Pioneers assisted by Lady Comforts, graduate assistant Shanice Whitener, volunteer assistant Kristen Atwell. Newberry with the basketball. They work a backdoor look back out to the top to LePaire. Now Britton. Britton will lob it into the corner to Hill. Hill back out to Britton. Right wing three-pointer is short. And the rebound comes down to Meg Essex. Rebounding will be key today for the Pioneers, as it's key in just about any game. LePaire from the top. Hands it off to Britton. Britton will take a pull-up jumper from 15. This time it's good. A 15-footer off the dribble. And Newberry executes so well in the half court. Devin Carter, you heard him just seconds ago. We have got to tempo them, get them uncomfortable. 2-0 Newberry. Right side front court. This is going to be Cupidon on the baseline, back out to the top. And it'll be Mia Long who will slow it down. Long looks over at the bench, gets the play, drives it inside the paint, around Essex, up off the glass. It's good. Mia Long. The thing for the Pioneers, shoot good today as well. They did not shoot very well. And they get down the floor as Essex runs the floor well, and it's deflected out of play, and the Newberry Wolves will inbound under their own bucket. They move it right to left on your radio as we view it. As you watch it, it's opposite, because those TV guys are like that. Left side Fred Court, this will be Britton. We'll back it out for a three. This one off the rim is no good. Cupidon knocks the rebound out to midcourt, but Hill, who is already tracking back to play defense because they're that fundamentally sound, picks up the ball at midcourt, and a traveling violation will go against Newberry. Team that only averages about 15 turnovers a game, and you're going to go up against a Pioneer team that loves to thieve. They average about 14 steals a game. The opposition just under 8. Across the midcourt stripe with the basketball. This will be Long. She'll hand it off to Wilson with the touch. Johnson left side to Cupidon. Cupidon struggled against Carson Newman because she couldn't stay on the floor. She was in foul trouble very early. Patton will take a 19-footer. Front of the rim is no good, and the rebound comes down to Hill for Newberry. Wolves with it into the front court. We're tied at 2. Britton on the left wing. Long defending on her. One of the top thieves in the conference. Britton using that offhand as an advantage, and a 5-second violation going against Britton. If Cupidon is going to be whistled for the offensive foul she deserved, just want you to see a little bit of that physicality for Britton trying to fend off Long, who is defending rather aggressively. No question about it. Long across the midcourt stripe for the Pioneers. We're tied at 2. We're under 8 to play in the first quarter. Top of the key, this is going to be Wilson to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson working on Lapeo. Gets it into the paint on Essex. Put it up high off the glass. Too strong. Rebounded by Hill. Newberry looking to run. Into the front court, McDermott. McDermott on the right wing. On the dribble. Still on the dribble. Goes baseline. Lapeo. Baseline is Essex. She'll take a 17-foot baseline jumper. No good. Rebounded by Cupidon. Pioneer basketball into the front court. Long to Cupidon from the right wing. Back to Long. Long defended by McDermott. Between the rings in the front court, Long. She'll put it on the floor. She'll drive. She'll kick. Wilson, extra pass. Cupidon, right wing 3. In and out, no good. KJ right in the right spot at the right time. Missed the layup. Patton can't grab the rebound, but Casey Johnson does. Wilson passes on the open look. Gives it to Johnson, who gets Essex into the air. Driving into the lane. This time banks it in. A lot of traffic, and Johnson able to finish that time. 4-2 Tusculum. Now they come into the press after the made shot. Lapeo back to Britton. Britton quickly front court to Hill. Tusculum recovers defensively. Lapeo watched by Long at the head of the key. Now Britton right side to McDermott. Essex double teamed as McDermott drives. Lapeo in the paint. Point blank is good. Right in front, and we're tied at 4. Across the stripe will be Mia Long. Tusculum into the front court, and Long slowing the pace. They'll crossover on McDermott into the corner. Johnson right wing. Wilson left wing. Wilson using the screen by Johnson into the lane, draws the contact as she was sealed in the paint. Will go up to the free throw line to take 2. Lapeo will pick up her first. And Wilson will go to the free throw line for the Pioneers. Wilson at 75%, as mentioned, 10th in the league in free throw percentage, is good on her first. Into the contest for Lapeo is going to come Reagan McCarty. McCarty, junior, out of Australia, Eastern Arizona Community College transfer. Sean Page, 28 wins away from 200 in his career at Newberry. Does a wonderful job recruiting internationally. Both free throws by Wilson. Pioneers back in front, 6-4. Pressure in the back court. Also checking into the contest will be Cousins, Deja Cousins, the freshman out of Loganville, Georgia. Into the paint, Essex around Patton. High off the glass is good. Tied it at 6, just like that. Meg Essex with the bucket. Into the front court, Wilson. Wilson will hold on to it. Watched by Britton. Little spin on the dribble. Another dribble crossover, and then uses Johnson as a shield, basically, and the screen where she misses the 3. Cousins with the basketball as Newberry gathers the rebound. Into the front court. Cousins on the dribble. Watched by Cupidon. McCarty McCarty driving around Patton, stops baseline, back out McDermott. Here's Essex. Essex, backdoor look for Cousins, off her fingertips, out of play, and Tusculum forces the turnover. It was going to have to be a really good pass, almost near perfect, and it nearly was. Lovely Locklear checks into the contest. The Pioneers go a little smaller as they'll bring Patton out of the game. And another switch for Newberry as well. Into the contest, Courtney Lyons, a junior, Concordia College transfer. Into the front court with the basketball is Long out of Concordia, Michigan. And we're going to get a 3-second violation, I think, on Casey. Yeah, that'll be the case. So the Pioneers will give it up. Second turnover for Tusculum. They had a turnover on their very first possession, the offensive foul. Tusculum with pressure, though, in the backcourt. Locklear defending on Britton. We go under 5 to play in the first. Britton in trouble. Doubled, throws it off of Locklear and keeps possession, which takes us to a timeout. We'll take the timeout as well. Return in 1 minute. 4:50 to play first quarter. Tusculum 6, Newberry 6. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus? What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Tusculum Newberry tied at 6. Newberry on the inbound out of the timeout. Tusculum shooting below 30%, 28.6, 29 will round up. 50% for Newberry. A Pioneer team that averages 40% on the year. The Newberry Wolves, who shoot below 40%, and Tusculum forces a turnover. Another steal into the front court. Cupidon, Mia Long. Pioneer basketball after they had given it up. It's the 4th turnover for Newberry. Left side, Cupidon. Kendrea Duke is checked in. There's a kick ball. We're just going to let play on. Left side, Johnson back into Duke. Spinning on Essex, draws the foul. Kendrea Duke posting up, demanding the ball as she comes into the contest. And the personal foul is not on Essex. As a matter of fact, it's on Cousins, I believe, who reached. Bit of a break. So Duke goes to the free throw line for the Pioneers. Rim's good. If I'm Sean Page, I'm not complaining too much about it. We had a kick ball and probably didn't get the right person on the foul. Duke, who makes the first and the second, remains perfect on the year from the stripe. Season debut, 4 rebounds in 6 minutes against LR. Impressive game against Carson Newman, 11.7 boards in 15 minutes against the Eagles. 8-6 Tusculum. Cousins in the front court for Newberry. McCarty. McCarty gives it up to Britton. Essex, top of the key. Looking for that pick and roll action, and a whistle as Locklear got there late. Essex didn't catch it cleanly. Probably was going to lose it out of play if Lovelair just kind of lets her go. They're going to say 2 shots, she never had possession. I guess she caught it cleanly, and then the foul cost her to lose possession. So Essex at the free throw line, missing on the first opportunity. 61% on the year from the stripe. Missed them both, and the rebound comes down to Cupidon. Tusculum leads 8-6. Just a tip, Newberry, it's a grind. They execute at such a high level in the half court. A wonderful defensive team, too. Johnson in the paint, turns, it rims off, no good. The rebound is tipped out by Duke. Mia Long gathers it. Johnson into the paint. This is Kendrea Duke. Turnaround is no good. The rebound tipped out right to Mia Long. Essex had it, lost it. Locklear on the right wing for Tusculum. On the drive, down the lane, off the glass. It's no good. Rebound tipped and finally controlled by Cousins of Newberry. Tusculum had multiple looks, couldn't cash in. Tusculum leads 8-6. Across the stripe is Cousins, watched by Locklear. On the dribble to the right wing, center of the floor, stays on that dribble for the young freshman. Right side, McCarty. 10 seconds to shoot. Backdoor cut to Britton, and a whistle for a hold on that backdoor look on Britton. And this personal foul is going to go on Duke. So Kendrea picks up her first non-shooting foul. Right at 3 minutes to play in the first half. McDermott back into the game for Newberry. On the inbound, McDermott to throw it in. Will lob it all the way out to the top to McCarty, who's picked up by Casey Johnson. Britton gets a quick step to the baseline, and a traveling violation as Britton couldn't come to a complete stop. But they were going to generate some type of an open look based on Britton's dribble penetration. Pioneer basketball, they get it back after the fifth turnover by Newberry. Tusculum leading at 8-6, but shooting just 2 of 10 from the field. Mia Long on the drive, and she'll draw a foul against McDermott. Waiting for her to just take off, and does. And the personal foul on Kelsey McDermott, her first. Each team with 3 team fouls here to start. With 2:43 to play in this opening quarter. Mia Long will go to the free throw line. First free throw is off the mark, no good. Long, the conference player of the week. Over the last 9 games, 13.2 points and 3 steals a game. Missed both free throws. 8-6 remains our score. Newberry with the rebound. Shelby Britton with the ball. Not many close games between these two teams over the last, in the Devin Carter era for sure. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Kendrea Duke defending on Meg Essex. So Duke's going to pick up her second. It's a non-shooting foul. It'd be the 4th foul against Tusculum. Hannah Lapeo and Martoria Patton back into the game for Tusculum and Newberry. McDermott on the inbound. Baseline front court, right side. Lobs it out to Shelby Britton. Britton on the right wing. It's not easy to get the ball in against Tusculum for Newberry here very early. Britton into the paint, knocked away by Long, and forcing Britton into a turnover. Nice play by Mia Long. As always, again, one of the top thieves in the South Atlantic Conference. On the inbound, it'll be Long. We've been stuck at 8-6 for a while. 2:15 to play in the first. Cupidon, left side front court to Johnson, back to Cupidon. Cupidon on the drive, off the glass, banks it in. Nice dribble take by Yolisma Cupidon, who is the #1 ranked player on the team in the plus-minus category on the year. More on that through the broadcast. McCarty into the front court, Long, and the double team comes. McCarty picks up the dribble. Johnson reaching in, and a 5-second count going on McCarty, and Tusculum forces yet another turnover. They trap right at the top of the key. Plus-minus indicator. We talked about a little bit about that in the plus-minus, total plus-minus of plus 134. There are 6 Pioneers averaging plus 10 per 40 minutes. This will be Long with the take to the baseline. Good. Mia Long off the glass is good. Which means you have a positive rating on the floor. When you're on the floor, Tusculum is winning. Long. Oh, it's a good look to Lapeo and the right block who puts it up and in, beating the pressure. 12-8. Tusculum. Long running into McDermott. Now to Cupidon. Cupidon on the right wing. Patton setting a screen. Cupidon taking it into the paint. Kicks it out to Johnson, who dribbles into the lane and out of control. And a whistle for a blocking foul. Holy cow. Courtney Lyons is going to be whistled for a foul. That's going to be her first. As Johnson, and again, I'd have to look at it again to know if she was tripped. But it looked as if she lost the ball and then fell into Lyons. I could be totally wrong. That's a tough call against Newberry, period. On the inbound, Tusculum, baseline front court. Left side is Mia Long. Back out to Wilson, just back into the game for three. No. Rebound, Patton tips it away. It's still loose. Johnson picks it up as we go under a minute to play in the quarter. Low-scoring quarter compared to Tusculum's, 30-point outburst in the fourth against Carson Newman. Just 12 so far, but then again, that's Newberry's defense. They force you to really be smart. Locklear, left side three is rim. Good. Lovely Locklear from downtown. McDermott, McCarty in trouble in the backcourt. McDermott bounces it up ahead to Hill. Hill avoids Mia Long. McCarty holding it right side into the hands of Lyons. And a whistle as Casey Johnson, who went down, I think she knew she was bleeding. We're going to have to stop play just so that she can get that tended to. Tusculum's injury. Of course, Jayla Arnwine, Mia Long playing with illness, both on antibiotics entering today's game. And then Maddie Sutton, who suffered the concussion in the Carson Newman first half, missing today's game. Cupidon is going to check back into the game as Johnson will have to exit to make sure that gets stopped. So the officials stop it, 15.6 on the clock, 14 to shoot. McDermott driving it baseline, back out to Lapeo. Pull-up jumper off the dribble is going to be Courtney Lyons, knocks it down from 16 feet. Tusculum with a 5-point lead in the ball, 2 seconds. Long's midcourt heave is no good. That will end the first quarter. At the end of one, it's Tusculum 15, Newberry 10. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County, you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
We welcome you back into play because Gary Roberts likes to put the ball down on the floor and get into a hurry. So we're in a hurry. Can't give you any numbers. Can't tell you this. Tusculum leads now 17-10 because Mia Long scored. Tusculum warming up, 6 of 15 from the field. They're above 35%. Newberry's 5 of 9 from the field, just below 60%. Newberry's turned it over 7 times in the game. Tusculum has scored 6 points off those turnovers. So far, Tusculum has forced 4 steals. Mia Long with her 6th point of the game. This will be a Hill 3. It's up and good. And a much-needed 3 ball by Newberry. They're first on their 3rd attempt. Not a team that takes a bunch, but they make them. Tusculum across the stripe, leading by 4, 17-13. They played 1 quarter, and Catawba leads Mars Hill 15-11. Sydney Wilson on a screen. Patton back to Cupidon. Pioneers with 10 to shoot. Cupidon back to Wilson. Wilson, watched by Britton, gets the screen. Crossover dribble. Again and again. Cupidon driving baseline on Essex. Little jumper is no good off the side of the rim. Not a good offensive set. Didn't get the movement they wanted. Across the stripe, McDermott bouncing it. This will be Essex. Fadeaway 15-footer. Rattled in good. Good shooting team. 17-15, Tusculum. They've also played 1 there at the end of it, and Coker leads Anderson 21-17. Long crossover dribble, takes it right at Essex, put it up and banked it in. Big key matchup today in women's basketball, Carson Newman and Wingate. Skip pass left side front court. Newberry, Essex into the paint, and she loses it. Turns it over. Wilson forced the turnover. She came over late. It was a triple team in the paint. Wilson on the left wing, looking to get her offensive game going. Backs it up for a three. And that one rims off no good. Rebound taken away by Newberry. Tusculum leading 19-15. Cross the stripe into the front court is Hill. Right side to Britton. Britton holding it, looking, finding McDermott. McDermott at the top. Britton. Britton back into the corner, back to the top, and into the hands of Lyons. Left side, Britton. Worked over by Wilson. Left side to Hill. 5 to shoot for Newberry. Hill, spot up three. No. Rebound, Patton had it, lost it, and Mia Long has it for the Pioneers. She'll slowly take it across the stripe. They're in the first quarter. LMU leads Queens 9-8. And Mia Long just needed a break. I think that Coach Carter has taken a timeout here in the first. That's the case, so he'll take the timeout. And that will take us to a timeout as well. Back in 1 minute. 7:17 to play, first half. Tusculum 19 and Newberry 15. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Tusculum College is Tennessee's first college. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where students from all around the world have found a home. Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit online for more information at tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 and discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
Once again, the voice of the Pioneers.
Patterson into the game for the Pioneers. We turn it over. Just our third, and Jayla Arnwine just into the game, knocks it out of play as the Pioneers come with the double team. 8 turnovers for Newberry's resulted into just 6 points for Tusculum, though. On the baseline, just into the game, has come Georgia Elliott-King. Jumper's no good. Rebound taken away weak side by Tusculum. Wilson, long pass up ahead for Cupidon, knocked away from her by King. And the Pioneers will keep possession. Warming up, as mentioned, 7 of 18 from the field, 39% rounding up. And Newberry now 7 of 13, just above 50%. Wilson yet to get going offensively. Will pull up for 2, and she's fouled. Wilson on the jumper is going to be fouled by Elliott King. That'll be her first just into the game. The junior out of Northampton, England, the Charleston Southern transfer. Wilson 0 for 3 from the field, 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Make that 3 for 3 at the free throw line. Wilson gets the ball back. Missed the second. Looked over to see Locklear getting set to check in for her, maybe. 20-15 Tusculum. 6:45 to play here in this opening half. Britton across the stripe for Newberry. Right side, this will be Essex, defended by Johnson. Elliott King got Wilson into the air, dribbles in for a closer look, knocks down the 14-footer off the dribble. 20-17 Tusculum. Cupidon driving baseline, back out to Patterson. Patterson skips it to Wilson. Wilson puts it on the floor, drives in, and wildly misses. She thought that Essex was going to come over and create some contact. Essex smarter than that. She backed away, did a little Olay. And Wilson poorly missed. And then Essex gets an open look inside, scores. 20-19. Tusculum by 1. Right side front court, this will be Patterson. Hands it off to Cupidon. Cupidon. She'll try 3. Back of the rim. Rebound taken by Elliott King. Britton, watched by Arnwine. Runs it across the stripe, and Arnwine going to be whistled for the foul. Be her first. First here of this second quarter. Lovely Locklear in, Mia Long in. For the Pioneers. Kendrea Duke picked up 2 fouls in the first when she came in. Maybe won't see her the rest of the way. Patton looked as if she may have injured an ankle. Not good news there with Sutton already out. Left side front court, this will be Britton. Britton driving around Johnson and draws the foul on the drive to the bucket. Not sure who the foul was on. Maybe Long. No, that wouldn't be right. Casey Johnson, apparently. She'll pick up her first. So Britton goes to the free throw line. 63%, 22 of 35, but knocks in the first, ties the game. Britton averaging 16 points a game. Lapeo is in for Essex. Patton will re-enter for the Pioneers. Tusculum's led by as many as 7. That came in the first quarter, just about 30 seconds left. Patterson will exit. Britton with her second. Rims off, no good. Rebound taken away by Patton. We remain tied at 20. Long across the stripe for the Pioneers. Arnwine to her left, Locklear to her right. Locklear with it, back to the top. This will be Johnson, left side to Arnwine. Long, into the paint, Johnson. Patton, 13-footer, looks off the mark, it is. Rebound taken by Newberry. Britton, behind the back, crossover, spin, and into the front court. Arnwine staying in front of him. Left side, Lapeo. Lapeo on the right elbow. Elliott King on the jumper is no good. Rebounded by Patton. Across the stripe, this will be Long. Left elbow, looking for room. Backs it out to Locklear. Locklear on the dribble. Around the lane, a wildly missed shot off the glass, and the rebound taken by Hannah Lapeo. Newberry has it. Long with the near steal. And a kick ball, I guess, by Long. So Newberry, no foul. Newberry's just going to inbound. McCarty will inbound. Tusculum will bring pressure in the backcourt. Britton gets away from Mia Long. Creates a 2-on-1 if she hurries. She does. Lapeo is fouled. The foul occurred before the shot, even though Lapeo made it. They're going to get an inbound situation. The foul will go on Martoria Patton. Yeah, I agree with Coach Page. On the inbound, this is going to be Britton. Britton looking, lobbing, and throwing to Elliott King. Right side, Britton goes baseline, and a whistle for an offensive foul against Mia Long. Britton just trying to create some space, and Britton will get caught finally for that little armbar shove. Seen it a couple of times, and Gary Roberts is quick to call it. 20-20 our score. Tusculum has been slow dramatically. 5 points here in the quarter, 10 for Newberry. 4:12 to play in the first. Right side front court, Casey Johnson. Johnson. And I don't know what happened. We got Reagan McCarty with... It almost sounded as if the official said illegal touching. That's like football. I think we're in the wrong sport. Johnson from the top. Little runner is good. Casey Johnson ends the long drought for the Pioneers. Had that drought, that lull against Carson Newman, and they all of a sudden opened up a 15-point lead. All Newberry did was tie the game. And then a turnover. Casey Johnson has it as Mia Long tips it away. And then Johnson will drive it and draw the foul against McCarty. So there's some points for the Pioneers after the turnover. The opportunity anyway as they go to the free throw line with Casey Johnson. 11th in the conference in scoring average and rebounds, 13 a game. Scoring, just under 7 rebounds a game. Double figures, 11 of 13 games this year, 28 of 32 last year, or I should say over the last 2 seasons. Honorable mention, all-conference a year ago. I may have said second team. This is a preseason second team selection this year. That was the case. She'll make both free throws. 24-20 Tusculum, 3:45 to play. And another 5-second count whistled against Newberry. That is their third of the half. It's 12 degrees outside, but yet there's a gnat that's hanging around Press Row. Hey, it's even cold in here. How's the thing even able to move its wings? From the top, this will be Patton. Patton back out to Patterson for 2. Yes. Callie Patterson rattling it in. And Gary Robertson blows the whistle. He wants to have a conference. We haven't looked at Gary over the last couple of minutes. Yeah, it was obvious it was a 2. She hit it from like the logo in the foul line. Oh, man, I love Gary. Newberry on the inbound. 26-20. Tusculum by 6. Britton getting some separation from Locklear, and then scampers into the front court. Handling is going to be Lions. Crossover into the lane. Locklear knocked it away. Couldn't get it. Ball still loose. It's free. And a jump ball. And the arrow favors Tusculum as the Pioneers back to life. The offense was quite anemic there for a good little bit of this quarter. And now a Johnson runner has opened it up. 2 free throws by Johnson, and then a pull-up jumper off the dribble by Patterson. And the Pioneers lead 26-20. Long, handling, around a double team, off the glass, short. Rebounded by Hill. Newberry into the front court. Britton working around Patton, and a blocking foul on Patton has Britton a little bit out of control. Really, if Martoria just kind of backs away, Britton misses that. She doesn't even get it above the rim. But as it is, Martoria will pick up her second. With Essex out of the game right now, well, getting ready to check back in, Tusculum struggling a bit at the 5 position as Duke and Patton each have 2. No Sutton today, but we have not seen... Thought we may see Dalcaron and Williams a little bit more in this game. Well, we're going to see Williams now. She's going to get waved in. So Jazz Williams will check into the game for Patton, the shot block queen of Morristown West. And really, anytime she's on the floor for Tusculum, she is a shot block waiting to happen. So Britton makes a couple of free throws, and the Pioneers lead down to 4, 26-22. Long from the top. Wilson, Long. Williams to Johnson. Right side is Long. Fakes a 3. Drives around a double team. Johnson will take Essex for a 3. This one is no good. And the rebound is tipped out. Controlled by McDermott. McDermott, watched by Locklear, sprints it into the front court. Long got a hand on it, knocked it away for a moment. A scramble for it, and then Newberry throws it away. No. Samara says she touched it. It wasn't close. 2:28 to play. First half. Coming up at the half, a conversation with Pioneer men's coach Nick Pasqua. He'll get his first chance at the NHL look Newberry Wolves. Long, inside, outside, Locklear. Locklear, Johnson. Inside to Williams. Good positioning. And she'll be fouled by Lapeo. Maybe a bit of a bailout. Williams looked as if she lost her balance somewhat. The Newberry men's team didn't agree with the call. I'm not in the business of agreeing or disagreeing. I'll say whether I like it or not. Williams at the free throw line. Her 2. First rattles out, no good. Second for Williams. Good. So Tusculum by 5 at 27-22. Their biggest lead has been 7. And a blocking foul going to go against Sydney Wilson, who apparently got to the spot late. You could argue that one all day. Probably didn't have enough space to come down. And with the foul, it's going to put Newberry to the free throw line to shoot 2 on the 5th team foul. So at the stripe is going to be Courtney Lyons. Lyons in her 5th game, 16th game this year. Played them all. Started 4, makes the first. Lyons 73% at the stripe. Second free throw by Lyons, good. 27-24, Tusculum. Here in the first half, 2 minutes to play in the half. Mia Long across the stripe for the Pioneers. Puts it on the floor, drives it, scores it. Mia Long. The comparisons for Jasmine Gunn, they're going to be there. Hustle, effort, determination. Britton into the paint, outside Essex, baseline, too strong. Rebounded by Williams. Tusculum basketball, 29-24 the lead. Long with the comparisons to the Hall of Famer, All-American Player of the Year, Jasmine Gunn. Just have to work on a jump shot. That's it. Gunn had it. Everything else, Long has. Oh, Wilson has taken a hit to the face. Williams a 3. It's good. Sydney Wilson just took a punch to the face. As McDermott was trying to fight through a screen, maybe they just inadvertently headbutted. Gary Roberts, she's talking it over with Gary right now. Williams just took a 3. And so Wilson is going to check out. And Jazz Williams is all about that 3 ball. Holy cow. 32-24, Tusculum. Newberry into the front court. On the drive, that's a great pass. McDermott to Essex, who finishes in the block. 32-26. We go under a minute to play in the first. Left side front court, this is Patterson. Cupidon. Driving it right to the rim, and it rims off, no good. You just counted on that one to go in. It's a good take. McDermott, another good take. Into the paint, and what appears to be is a foul, but I was blocked. Jasmine Williams is going to be whistled for it. Whatever it was, didn't see it. Pioneers at 38% for the game, 11 of 29. That last layup miss hurts. At the free throw line, McDermott makes the first. Newberry's at 55%, 10 of 18, but they've turned it over 13 times to Tusculum's 3. McDermott made both. Patterson will take it across the stripe for the Pioneers. You wonder, well, how are the Pioneers scoring? At the free throw line, they've hit 8. They've made 11 field goals. Tusculum leads just 32-28. They forced 13 turnovers, have more field goals, more attempts, more free throws, but it's a 4-point game. It's a head-scratcher. A traveling violation on Locklear. So the Pioneers will turn it over for the 4th time. So Newberry can go to the locker room with the last shot. So Tusculum will bring in Arnwine, who took Kendrea Duke out on the size of what I was watching. Cupidon knocking it away on the inbound. Well, I say they have the last shot. They've got to hang on to it first. Newberry on the inbound. Here's Britton. Watched by Arnwine. 10 seconds. Britton. Gives it up. Lyons. Little runner stolen by Locklear. Will she notice that there's no time? No. That will end the first half, and the Pioneers will go to the locker room leading by 4. Tusculum has forced 14 turnovers, have taken 11 more shots, have only made 1 more than, and lead by 4 going to the locker room. Coming up at the half, our Pioneer halftime report with Pioneer men's coach Nick Pasqua. That's when we continue after this. Your score at the break, it's Tusculum 32 and Newberry 28. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The Tusculum experience is 20 sports, 1 team, striving for excellence. The Tusculum experience offers state-of-the-art facilities for practice and game days. If you seek a championship atmosphere, the Tusculum experience is for you. Visit online through TusculumPioneers.com. Call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin. Are you serious?
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family. The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
It's different preparing for him, that's for sure.
You know, one of the things last year I noticed that Mike finally did, he was just like, forget it. We're going to match him. We're going to line change with him.
Yeah.
He went 5 and 5.
Yeah.
And I think what it did is it wore both teams down equally.
Yeah.
Do you worry about them wearing you down?
Yeah, I do a little bit. I think we're going to, we only pretty much played 7 guys that are not against Carson Newman. So we can't do that tonight. Some guys that have not played the last 2 games are going to have to play. You know, our numbers are still down a little bit, but hopefully the way we've been playing all year, we're in pretty good shape too. So you know, the thing you don't want to do against Newberry, for us, it would be counterproductive for us to try to slow down and try to break the press and then hold it at the half line, because that just gives them another chance to come trap you again. So if we can get open shots in transition, we want to do it. Good open shots with the guys that we want shooting those shots, and if not, we've prepared on some things that we think we can. You know, they don't guard the paint really well because they all come in and kind of help, and they want you to drive it, and then they want to try to steal it from you. So if you can get in the paint and get their 5-minute step up, hopefully we can get some stuff inside, and then drive and kicks, be ready to shoot it. So it's going to come down whether we take care of the ball, and then they shoot it and they go get it. That's pretty much their offense. They're going to drive it, they're going to kick it, they're going to shoot it, and they're all going to go in there and try and get it. So, you know, we talk about rebounding. It's still number one.
Number one today.
Yep.
And for me, too, I think there's even more of an emphasis today, and we've discussed this, and you've been sick by it, in hitting that open shot. We have not knocked down that open shot, and we're going to have plenty of those today, I believe.
We are. You know, in the first half against Carson Newman, we made pretty much outside that first 2 or 3 minutes where we didn't make anything, then we shot the ball pretty well. And then late in the game against Carson Newman, we had a lot of open looks that we didn't knock down. But there's going to be, I told our guys, look, if you can handle the pressure, and they're not as wild as they have been in the past. They don't trap as much. They still do it, but it's a little more controlled now than it has been. And when they bring their second group in, they're not quite as aggressive doing it. It's more of a skill type group, more better shooters, probably not as athletic as the first five they're going to put out there. So, but I told them, you break the press and you make one pass, two passes, you're going to get an open shot. So don't settle, but we got to take care of the ball to get to that first, second, third pass in the half court.
Yeah, Gerald Evans, the guard that graduated last year, was 5 foot maybe, but really made them go. And I don't think they've been able to replace that. But what they do have is a scorer in Valentine.
Yep.
Step is the scorer. He's always been there. Lang is the freshman of the year from a year ago.
Yep.
So they have those guys, but do we have to worry about I can sit here and say, we got to stop Charles Clark. And you can say that just about anybody. Do you worry about that with Newberry?
Probably not just one player in particular, but if you look at their stats, almost everybody they play is shooting no worse than 34% from three. So they're all capable shooters. Yeah. The only one that's not is number 12. He's only shooting about 10%. He's more of just a straight driver. But other than that, and the big kid that they bring off the bench, 22, is really good too. I think the freshman that they got, he's not going to come out and shoot it, but everybody else is a 34% three-point shooter or higher, and that's what they're looking to do. Drive, kick, shoot, drive, kick, shoot. It's going to be, we talked a lot about it the last 2 days, is our communication breakdowns that we're having. And you look at it, we looked at our last 7 games. The first half, we're giving up 36 points. The second half, we're giving up 48. Well, they're in front of our bench in the first half. They're away from our bench in the second half. Then you look at our offense, 35 points, what we're averaging in the first half. Second half, we're averaging 48. And so it's in front of our bench where our bench can help, I can help. The communication is much better on this end when they get away from us, whether it's offense or defense. Our communication is breaking down when they're on their own down there. So, that's going to be huge tonight. They're going to pass, they're going to cut, they're going to drive, they're going to kick. Us bumping guys off, passing them off through the zone, that type of stuff is going to be on us to communicate. So,
what I hear is get ready because you won't have time to look down at your stuff. Memorize these guys because we're going to have fast-paced games.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be it's going to be up and down. We played at King last year. Pfeiffer played almost exactly like Newberry did, and it was in the mid hundreds every time we played, and neither team could press the other team because they got it in so quick. So, they're not going as wild as they have some Newberry teams of the past. I think they're trying to play more solid. They're picking and choosing when they're coming to trap a little bit more, but I think they'll probably look at some of the struggles we had against Coker and be like, okay, they struggled getting the ball in, so we've made some adjustments there on trying to get the ball in and better, more efficiently, having better ball handlers together in the backcourt to kind of go against what they're going to do to us.
About 2 years ago, I went through a game. We had 72 fouls called in a game.
I can't believe it.
Are they still that aggressive where they're creating a lot of fouls?
They are, and they're going to try and do it to you too. They're going to try and drive it on the offensive end and try to make you keep the ball in front of them without fouling them. And we've done a better job playing without fouling. Until late in the Carson Newman game when we had a foul. First half, we defensively, I thought we played as well as we could have. Clark had 5 points. They had 36, I think, as a team. They made 1 3, so we played as well as we could. And then those communication breakdowns started happening in the second half on the opposite end. So playing without fouling, limiting to one shot. If we can, and another thing, when we get a rebound, they're going to come jam. They're going to double team. Every time you get a rebound, they're going to double you. Then they're going to go deny the point guard. So being able to get a rebound and get it out, that's going to be key too.
All right, we've said all this, and you got this young team. Do you worry because it's going to be, instead of fast motion, it's going to be 2 times fast motion today?
We try to simulate it some in practice, but you can't. Even though we try to play fast, it's different. Yeah. I think we've probably got more structure, more rules built into what we're trying to do, where they're going to put their athletes out there and say, go get them, and it's going to be poise. Okay, we turn it over, we can't have another turnover. They turned Queens over 25 times that night, and Queens' as point guard had 9 turnovers, and so they can do it to the best teams in the country, and they did it at Newberry. They had a great crowd there. I'm hopeful tonight we can have some poise. We can, if 2 guys are on us, we can find the open shooter and we can make shots.
Hey, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Pioneer coach Nick Pasquez. Pioneers get set to take on the Newberry Wolves here in Game 2 of our doubleheader. Game 1, we're at the half, and the Pioneers lead by 4. We'll have your first half stats, and we'll return right after this. This at the half. Tusculum 32, Newberry 28, as you listen to Pioneer Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Tusculum College is Tennessee's first college. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where students from all around the world have found a home. Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit online for more information at tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 and discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
Once again, the voice of the Pioneers.
We're at the half. It is Newberry and Tusculum, and a good one. Tusculum leading by 4, 32-28. That's how they get here for Tusculum. They're 11 of 29 shooting in that first half, 38% rounding up. 2 of 9 from 3, and 8 of 12 at the free throw line, getting out rebounded 17-13. And Kendrea Duke in that first half played, just 2 minutes, picked up 2 fouls. For the Newberry Wolves, they're 10 of 18 from the field, 56%, 1 of 5 from 3, and 7 of 10 at the free throw line. Tusculum has 1 assist on 11 made shots. They have 4 turnovers, 0 blocks, and 8 steals, 4 of them by Mia Long. For the Newberry Wolves, they have 10 assists on 10 field goals, 14 turnovers, 0 blocks, and just 1 steal in the first half. Pioneers' Mia Long has 10 points, 3 boards, and 4 steals, 0 assists. 6 points for Casey Johnson, 2 points for Yolisma Cupidon, 3 points for Sydney Wilson in her 12 minutes, 3 points for Lovely Locklear, 4 for Jasmine Williams, 2 points for Callie Patterson, and 2 points for Kendrea Duke for a total of 32. For Newberry, they get 8 points, 4 rebounds out of Meg Essex, 2 points for Kelsey McDermott, 4 assists, 4 points for Hannah Lapeo, 5 points for Shelby Britton with 4 turnovers, 3 points, 5 rebounds by Samara Hill, 4 points for Courtney Lyons, and 2 points for Georgia Elliott King off the bench for Newberry's total of 28. Tusculum has an advantage in the paint, surprisingly enough, 16-10, and a 13-2 edge in points off turnovers, 4 ties, 1 lead change. Tusculum led by 8 in that second quarter. Newberry led early by 2 in the game. We'll check scores around the league in 30 seconds. At the half, it's Tusculum 32. It's Newberry 28. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus? What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Halftime show. Your home for Tusculum College sports. Once again, the voice of the Pioneer.
Here at halftime, Tusculum leads Newberry 32-28. Elsewhere in the league, it's 4th-ranked Carson Newman leading Wingate 30-19 in the premier showdown in the league. Number 1 versus T2. Catawba's the other team tied for second. They lead Marcel 38-27. Coker leading Anderson 34-31. And LMU leads Queens 38-25. Thanks for listening to the Pioneer Halftime Report. Second half, when we return, your score at the break. Tusculum 32 and Newberry 28. This is Pioneer Basketball. Second half action is coming up on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Technology.
1 minute, Billboard.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, indeed.
Sports Network, brought to you by
Greenville Federal Bank, the Red, White, and Blue Marathon Quick Stop Market, Laughlin Hospital, Wash Depot, Hometown Realty and Auction, and by your Greenville Light and Power System.
And now, with the call, the voice of the Pioneers.
All right, we welcome you back into Pioneer Arena. We get set to start the second half. Newberry will have the ball down 4. After the Pioneers, by the numbers, you would think they'd have a bigger lead. They don't. Newberry, that's just what they do and how they do it. Long and near steal, looking for a 5th, knocked it away. McCarty starts the second half instead of Lapeo. The only change by either team. Samar Hill back to the top, McDermott. McDermott picks up the dribble to Essex. She'll take an 18-footer. It's no good. Long rebound. And a foul on Mia Long. Boxing out. I guess she did so too aggressively. What a crazy call. Essex catch and shoot in the lane is good. Right there. That's just a tough call. 32-30. Across the stripe, this will be Mia Long. Long to Cupidon. Locklear for a 3 is off the mark. Rebound, Patton, offensive board. Rare offensive rebound for Tusculum. Well, I say that, and then I look down, and they had 5 in the first half. Locklear on the left wing. Cupidon on the drive, back out to Locklear. Johnson fakes the 3, and a kick ball, but apparently we don't play kick ball anymore. I guess we can just kick the ball. 32-30, Tusculum turns it over. And a whistle inside. And that will go against Martoria Patton. That's going to be her 3rd. A little bit of a slow start here to this second half from me in particular as well, because I'm just not catching up to the game these guys are calling just yet. Left side is Britton. Lob it backdoor for Essex for the tie is good. 32-32. Long forcing tempo into the lane, all the way off the glass, banks it in. Mia Long. That was a short-lived tie. Britton slowly across the stripe. Little hop and a skip on the dribble. Long, dangerous, knocked it away again. Just anticipates the bounce. And it's when she's kind of jumping up into the air. Long just kind of anticipates, kind of jumps with her, and then just times it out. Tips another pass. This out of bounds. Newberry will have to inbound. Inbound situation for Newberry to Britton. Britton picked up by Johnson. And we're going to get an offensive foul. And who's it on? That's on Kendrea Duke. I guess she was just, I didn't see it. Unreal. Yeah, what are we talking about? He said an offensive foul. Well, whatever. Oh dear. Right side front court. 2-shot is good by Britton. Ties the game at 34. Britton just on the line, a 20-footer. Across the stripe, this will be Long, and she's going to take a bump. I don't know who the foul was on, but it was on Newberry. Apparently it's on McDermott. Inbound, Johnson right side, drives around McCarty. Will pull up short. Essex with the rebound for Newberry. Essex, 16.9 rebound average this year. Newberry can retake the lead. Down 8 late in the second. Backdoor look for Britton. Nice catch in traffic. Pass is deflected. Johnson came away with it for a moment, but apparently was just out of bounds. 14 seconds on the shot clock. And Newberry will inbound. Lob it to Essex, who scores over Williams. Newberry leads 36-34. Long weaving her way into the front court. Williams back to Long. Locklear. Locklear started in place of Wilson here in the second half. And we're going to get an offensive foul on lovely Locklear. Locklear is going to pick up the offensive foul. That's going to be her first. Acts as a turnover. Tusculum in a bad way here in the third against that fundamentally sound Newberry Wolves team. Not that Tusculum isn't. Here they come with the double-team trap. Newberry passes out of it. Hill, McCarty, and 3-second violation on Essex. We get all kinds of stuff. So Patterson's going to check into the game. Wilson, who took that hit, just to, maybe the reason she took a hit to the face late in the second. I mean, it was just an all. If Kendrea Duke's going to get whistled for a third foul by fighting through a screen, I don't know what they missed early. Cupidon is going to be whistled for the foul here. That's going to be her second offensive foul. Patterson is going to come into the game for the Pioneers. Hannah Lapeo is in for Newberry. Britton getting set to be doubled. Lapeo is back there with her. Lapeo takes it across the stripe, picks up the dribble. Somebody's got to be open. It's Essex under the bucket. She'll lay it in. Largest lead of the game for Newberry's. They beat the Pioneer Press 38-34 as Tusculum just unable to get on track offensively. Cupidon left wing. Outside Patterson, three. That won't go either. Rebounded by Essex. Tusculum in a bad way to start the second half. One field goal. A Mia Long layup. Hill, right baseline. Back out to the top. McDermott takes it down the lane, draws the foul. Williams and Johnson reaching. It'll go on Williams. That'll be her second. The 5 position in trouble and with fouls. Martoria Patton, Kendrea Duke each with 3, and Duke just can't stay on the floor. She's played 3 minutes, 3 fouls. Williams now with 2. McDermott hits the free throw to extend the largest lead for Newberry in the game. If they have come out here in this third quarter and lighting it up is an understatement. They're outscoring Tusculum 12-2. Patton. And Duke has talked about with the foul trouble. Duke's going to get set to check back in. Pioneer basketball. Cupidon. Johnson gets around Lapeo into the lane, and a blocking foul. Late whistle. I don't know what they were waiting for. The foul is going to go against Britton. That's going to be her second. She undercut Casey Johnson, who was driving to the bucket. Newberry 63% from the field. Everything now starting to go into the paint for Meg Essex, who's having a solid second quarter or second half. Johnson making the first free throw. So Duke is back in. Williams will exit. Essex 16 points. Johnson made them both for the Pioneers. She has 9. So 40-36, and Locklear in the backcourt nearly got the steal, but then did commit the foul. That's going to be her second. And it's the 2-shot foul already for Newberry here in the third. As Newberry's going to go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Just slows the game. So to the stripe, McDermott, who's 2 for 2 in the game from the free throw line already for her 2 points, 4 assists in that first half as well. McDermott missing the first. Long back in for the Pioneers. In is Courtney Lyons for Newberry. And she made 1 of 2. 41-36. Newberry has a 6-point second half lead as they have been outscored the Tusculum Pioneers here in the third as Mia Long takes it right to the rim and in. 13-4, they were outscored. Now it's 13-6. McDermott lobs it to Britton in the front court for Newberry. Right side, this is going to be Lapeo. And the pass stolen, Mia Long with the steal. She has 5 in the game. She'll drive it right at Lyons and draw the foul on Lyons. And Mia Long will earn a trip to the free throw line where she's 0 for 2 in the game. And the foul will go against Lyons, her second. So Long trying to force some tempo, get her team right back into it. Looking for basically a 4-point possession for her because really Newberry did not even get set in the half court when she picked off that pass. Long, line drive free throw, just hits the front of the rim and hops over and in. Elliott King checks in. Had a little surge in the lights here. Hopefully it's because the heat just kicked on. Long missed the second. 41-39 Newberry. Wolves basketball. McDermott into the front court. Essex handling, gives it to Britton. Pass is deflected. Essex comes away with it. Back it out to Britton. She'll try a 3 over Johnson. It's no good. Long rebound by Casey Johnson. Long with it for Tusculum. Rare miss in the offensive set for Newberry. Long to Duke, missing as she turned on Lapeo. But that's a good matchup. Just got to take advantage of that. Got to make it. Don't get into too much of a hurry. McDermott into the paint to Essex, who scores easily on Johnson. Had great position. 43-39. Tusculum misses an opportunity in a matchup I think they like with Duke going up against Lapeo. Long, inside, outside, Johnson for 3. Bang. Casey Johnson knocks down the 3. And gets Tusculum into their press. Britton, watched by Patterson. Handling, gives it up to Lapeo, who's trailing. Lapeo across the stripe. This Hannah, of course, she had Haley Lapeo, the All-Conference Player of the Year at Newberry. Sean Page earned Coach of the Year honors during her tenure. Hannah inside, missing. Duke coming away with the rebound for the Pioneers. 43-42, Tusculum down 1 with the ball. Across the stripe, Mia Long. Starting to put it together a little better here in this third. It's taken a while. Patterson to Duke. Working against Lapeo, and 1! Kendrea Duke, what a play. We'll take a timeout and return with the free throw right after this. 3:28 to play in the third. It's Tusculum 44, Newberry 43. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The Tusculum experience is 20 sports, 1 team, striving for excellence. The Tusculum experience offers state-of-the-art facilities for practice and game days. If you seek a championship atmosphere, the Tusculum experience is for you. Visit online through TusculumPioneers.com. Call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
Pioneer basketball with the voice of the Pioneers.
44-43, Tusculum leading as Kendrea Duke goes to the free throw line. Has not been out there but 5 minutes, but 4 points and a rebound, 3 fouls. She goes to the stripe for the three-point play. The one-handed free throw is good. Kendrea Duke knocks it down. And the Pioneers by 2. Newberry beats the press into the front court. Elliott King gets away with the shove. McCarty on the right wing. Drives it down the lane. We'll throw it back out to Hill. Hill at the top. And Essex can't catch the pass. Elliott King with the entry pass that is just beside the post position by Essex and was unable to gather it. Newberry outscoring Tusculum here in the third, 15-14, but the Pioneers with a 1-point lead. I should say 15-13. Duke spinning on Essex and in. 47-43. Tusculum at one time down 6. They lead it by 4. Just like turning on a light switch. Again, without Sydney Wilson, who has not had her A game here today, and out after the second quarter collision. McCarty, McDermott to Essex. Hill on the right wing at the three-point strike. Driving on Locklear is no good. Rebounded by Mia Long. Long with her head up into the front court on the right wing to Locklear. Locklear to Long, open 3. No, not necessarily the three-point shooter, Mia, 27%. 4-point Tusculum lead. Elliott King, McCarty. Down the lane, runner's good. McCarty with the runner. So the missed 3 leads to a 2-pointer. I know that's not what Devin Carter wanted, even though it was a wide-open 3. I don't think that's what he wanted at that time. Long drives, steps, and travels. She tried to go left, tried to go right, and a timeout is going to take us to a break. We'll take the break back in 1 minute. 1:44 to play in the third, where it's Tusculum 47, Newberry 45. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
It's fine. It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the best of plans don't always go according to plan.
My best friend's getting married today and the florist never showed.
That's why we're always there when you need us.
What are their colors?
Purple and cream.
With smiling faces and helping hands.
No one cares. No one cares. You will look great. Flowers are not important. And where is Holly? Have you anyone seen Holly?
And although life will be predictably unpredictable,
let's get you to that wedding.
A curveball is that much more satisfying.
I got the flowers!
When you knock it out of the park.
Oh my gosh, awesome!
So when the plan goes out the window and improvisation becomes the order of the day, just remember, that's where the best of memories are made.
All right, they're ready for us.
True story. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
47-45. Tusculum leading Newberry. Newberry basketball on the inbound. Tusculum will come with some pressure. Newberry lines up just to throw the ball in full court. After the Pioneer turnover, just the 8th of the game. A whistle for a timeout to Shelby Britton, who was dangerously close to committing a turnover. So just a quick break for Newberry. Sean Page was quick to make that call. Coming up on January 27th, it's going to be Legends Night. Hopefully you'll have a chance to come out and watch Ralph Horn and Susan Starnes-Brown have their numbers retired. Athletic Director Doug Jones says, an honor that is long overdue here at Tusculum. The first numbers retired. Ralph Horn, the All-America, Hall of Famer, assistant coach. Susan Starnes-Brown, All-America, 3-time NAIA National Player of the Year, all-time scorer, both of them all-time leading scorers in school history. Numbers 32 and number 42 will be retired in a ceremony January 27th here at home against Catawba. Left side front court, Newberry out of the timeout. McDermott, and a travel on McDermott. I'm looking around for an assigner, and I don't see one. But there's been a lot of stuff called today that has been crazy. 47-45. Tusculum by 2 with the ball, and Duke is going to be fouled by McCarty as Duke had position in the paint. So McCarty's going to pick up her third, and that will send Duke to the free throw line. She'll shoot 2. So Duke will go to the stripe. And again, that one-handed free throw for Kendrea Duke. She's been very effective. Third in the conference in field goal percentage and fourth in free throw percentage at Volunteer State last year. 79 of 104, 76% at the free throw line. That one-handed motion. Puts it up. It's a shot put. Hannah Lapeo back in for McCarty. Second free throw. Rim's no good. And a whistle as Newberry was into the lane early. Samara Hill. And I'm telling you, you get some weird stuff that goes on. Gary Roberts' crew. I mean, it's just get phantom travels and all kinds of stuff. So Duke at the free throw line for a third and makes good on it. Tusculum by 4, 49-45. Not many close games between these two because Newberry's winning by an average of 17.5 points over their 7-game winning streak against the Pioneers. Closest game was a Newberry win 3 years ago. We go under a minute to play in the third. Hill down the lane. Runner is no good. Duke comes up with the rebound. Duke comes up ailing a little bit too. We cannot have anyone ailing in the 5 position. Long will hold it. Left side, Locklear. Locklear in the corner. Cupidon. In the paint, Duke. Back out, Locklear. She'll drive it. Kick it out to Long. She'll fake it. Drive it. Cupidon. Left wing 3. Shot clock winding down. No good. Rebounded by Lapeo. 20 seconds to play in the third. McDermott into the front court. Sidesteps Locklear. Back out to the top. Britton. Watched by Cupidon with 10 seconds in the third. Tusculum by 4. Britton. Lyons. Drives it and draws the foul on Casey Johnson. That's a horrible call. That's terrible. You know, oh my gosh. Johnson picks up her second. Yes, Johnson was defending, and it was evident already that Lyons had already dribbled around her. Lyons is going to go to the stripe and make the first. Williams will check in for Duke, who comes off limping. Patterson is also in. 1.6 on the clock. No Sydney Wilson here in the second half. She exited in the second quarter after a collision. And both free throws made by Lyons, so a gift at the stripe. Patterson is no good from midcourt. We go to break. End of 3. Tusculum 49 and Newberry 47. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Tusculum College is Tennessee's first college. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where students from all around the world have found a home. Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit online for more information at tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 and discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
Back here at Pioneer Arena, Tusculum with the basketball to start the fourth. Sydney Wilson on the floor. 49-47, Tusculum by 2. Cupidon with Long, Johnson, and Williams rounding out the 5 out there. Essex out there for Newberry. Cupidon on the left wing. Williams trying to post up. Cupidon gets a screen in the lane. Floater is no good. The rebound tipped out and controlled by Williams. Tusculum is shooting 40% for the game. Shot 45% in the third. Have hit just 3 of 13 threes. Newberry's 1 of 6 from 3. At the top, this is going to be Johnson. Williams hit 1 of those 3 three-pointers to Cupidon. 8 to shoot. Looking to drive. Closed off. Long. Will drive it. And is blocked by Essex out of bounds. Shot clock violation. Should be. Yeah, it should be a shot clock violation. All right, let's give you some scores. Catawba leads Mars Hill 61-41. LMU leads Queens 54-36. Coker leads Anderson 51-43. And they're into the fourth, and Carson Newman leads Wingate 44-35. They're going to put, I think, a second on the shot clock for the Pioneers. Yeah, I think that's good. So on the inbound, it's got to be something going to the rim. Johnson, no, that was not going to the rim. I don't know if that was the call play. It's 49-47. Newberry basketball down 2. McDermott into the front court. McCarty with Britton, Lyons, Essex, and the aforementioned McDermott on the floor. Britton blocked by Williams, as Jasmine Williams got a piece of that one. The human blocking machine, Jasmine Williams. Had at least 1 block in 10 of 12 games last year she played. Britton is going to go down in a heap. And a foul is going to be charged against Mia Law on the inbound. That's her second. Team's first of the fourth. On the inbound, wide open, missed layup by Lyons. Sean Page is frustrated. Wide open. Long, Wilson, Williams on the right side to Cupidon. Cupidon to Wilson, watched by Britton. Gets a screen, and they're going to get an illegal screen on Williams. Williams going to pick up her third, and it's going to turn the ball over, 10th time in the game for the Pioneers. And it's not like they've turned it over because of steals. It's been offensive fouls. 49-47, Tusculum by 2. McDermott into the front court. Right down the lane, throw it off the bottom of the backboard. Rebound to Tusculum. Mia Long into the front court. Driving on Essex, right to the rim and in. Little hesitation move to the rim. McDermott. She's handled this pressure well. McCarty. She'll take it across the stripe. Double team. McCarty to McDermott. McDermott. Britton. Britton watched by Wilson. We go under 8 to play in the game. Britton gets a step on the drive, and the lay-in is good. Shelby Britton, nice turn. 51-49. Tusculum by 2 with the ball. Mia Long. Long to Cupidon. Cupidon, Wilson. Wilson on the right wing. A blow-by into the lane, missed the layup. Rebound to Essex. It has been a struggle for Wilson, who's 0 for 5 from the field. 3 of 4 at the free throw line, missed all of the third. Right side to the top, McCarty. McCarty picks up the dribble, gives it up to Lyons, who walks, but they throw it away anyway. I mean, it took just 2 steps. Duke back into the game for the Pioneers. It looks like Lapeo back in as well for Newberry. Also, Samara Hill. So 7 minutes to play in the game. The Pioneers by 2. No one has had a double-digit lead here. Newberry's led by 6 in the third. Tusculum rallied, took a 4-point lead. They've led by 8. Tusculum in the second quarter. Cupidon from the left wing. Johnson. And I don't know. We got a whistle. So a foul is going to go against Lapeo. That's her third. Team's first of the fourth. Inbound Duke. And one. Lapeo's going to pick up her fourth. Hit him back to back. That's going to her fifth. And Sean Page not very happy. The fifth on Lapeo exits her out of the game. Duke at the free throw line. For the three-point play, short. But Essex was into the lane. Well, that's twice. Twice in one game. Twice in the, like almost in the same quarter. That's crazy. And Duke cashes in. Kendrea Duke for the Pioneers. Off the bench with 12. Steal by Cupidon. Stepped right in front of the pass. Mia Long. Pioneers by 5. Duke asking. Worked over by Essex. They want to go inside to number 24. Mia Long gives it up to Cupidon. 10 to shoot. Cupidon driving on Essex off the glass. Good. Acrobatic finish. And the Pioneers lead by 7. Britton gives it up to McCarty. McCarty into the front court. So Britton resets the half-court offense. Hill, McCarty, Lyons. Hill into the paint for Essex. The pass is too high and turned over. Newberry will give it up for the 21st time back-to-back possessions. Tusculum outscoring Newberry 7-2 here in the fourth to hold a 7-point lead. 56-49. Devin Carter, never beaten Newberry. The only team in the league he has never beaten. I suppose in Anderson. Duke going to be shoved by Essex, pushing her out of the spot. Essex will pick up her first. Essex, such a smart player, plays heads up, does not get herself into foul trouble. And then obviously is able to finish, score. On the inbound, Kendrea Duke. Wilson 3. No, just not there for Sid. Hill, long pass into the front court. Good catch in transition for McDermott. Gives it up to McCarty. Inside, outside. Britton, a 3 is good. Shelby Britton knocks down the 3. The second three-pointer made in the game. She's 32% on the year. She's attempted 124. That's her first attempt of the game. Wilson to Johnson. Pass deflected and stolen. Long pass to McCarty. And Wilson got into the air. McCarty anticipated the contact. And Wilson, obviously, as always, goes down in a heap. Just hope she's okay. It's her second. 56-52. McCarty at the stripe is no good. McCarty at 55%, 12 of 22 from the free throw line. 4 points, 5 rebounds a game for McCarty. Makes the second. Makes it a 3-point game once again. After the three-pointer by Britton, the one free throw by Newberry. That 7-point lead down to 3. Can they get Duke involved again? Cupidon. Locklear into the game for Wilson. Locklear. And she'll be fouled by Hill. Stepped in front. Samara Hill with her first. And the senior out of Melbourne looks awkwardly at the official. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it back in a minute. 4:41 to play in the game. Tusculum 56, Newberry 53. As you listen to Pioneer Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The Tusculum experience is 20 sports, one team, striving for excellence. The Tusculum Experience offers state-of-the-art facilities for practice and game days. If you seek a championship atmosphere, the Tusculum Experience is for you. Visit online through TusculumPioneers.com. Call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer Experience for yourself.
Pioneer basketball with the voice of the Pioneers.
So Tusculum leads 56-53. They are 8 of 18 shooting in the second half, 40% for the game. Newberry's 9 of 17, 53%. They're 54% for the game. 18 points, 9 rebounds for Meg Essex. 17 points, 5 steals for Mia Long. Johnson, tough runner, is no good. Cupidon steps in front to steal the rebound back. Pioneers by 3. Johnson with 11 and 5 boards. She may get credit for that one. 12 points for Kendrea Duke. Battling on Essex, spinning, shooting, and a weird rebound comes down to Essex for another double-double this year for her. McDermott into the front court. Shadowed by Long, knocked it away and steals it. Mia Long with the steal. Waits, finds Locklear, who will finish. Lovely. 58-53, and then a near turnover. Oh, they're going to get a jump ball. Nobody had possession. No one had possession. Unfortunate. Such a quick whistle. Newberry basketball. Tusculum nearly gets back-to-back turnovers. 22 turnovers as it is. Tusculum 23 points off it. And again, the streak holds. Tusculum has turned a team over at least 20 times, all but 2 games this year. Meg Essex on a double-team scores. Wow, how good is that? 58-55, Tusculum, 3.5 to play. Long across the stripe. To the foul line. Locklear on the right wing. Fakes a 3. Spins and takes a 10-footer. No good. Kendrea Duke goes up and is fouled. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 as the ball is pinned between the rim and the backboard. Devin Carter in his suit will tip it out, and that pumps up his team. I don't know if that should even be allowed, because that would be like, that would be like an advantage. That's pretty good in Saddleford's. He's showing off his 12-inch vertical. So Duke will go to the free throw line where she'll shoot 2 of them. Of course, he's all smiles right now only if they're able to hold true with the lead that they have right now. Lions will come in for McCarty. Rematch to Newberry is the season finale, regular season finale, February 24th on the road. And Duke made them both. Duke with 14, a new season best. She had 11 points in 15 minutes against the Eagles. She's going to have something very similar to that here tonight. She played 2 minutes of the first half. Double team comes on Lions. They get it out to Britton. Right side, McDermott in the lane. Pull up from 13 is no good. Johnson with the rebound for the Pioneers. Under 3 to play. A bucket here would be huge for the Pioneers, gathering yet another 7-point advantage. They lead it by 5. 15 on the shot clock. Mia Long. Locklear. 5 to shoot. Long. Duke. Yes and 1. Kendrea Duke on Essex. You know, Essex isn't necessarily Marta Mashenko, who we believe one of the best players in the league. Essex very similar to that. So Duke in the game with 16. Still at 16, but an offensive rebound. Had been 8 of 8 at the free throw line prior to that miss. 62-55 Tusculum. Left side front court. Long. Back out. Locklear. 10 to shoot. 3. Didn't need it. Essex had it stolen away by Locklear. Another turnover by the Wolves. Coach Page beside himself. Tusculum takes it under 2 minutes. A whole minute of possession for the Pioneers here. They have 2 points. Cupidon, Johnson, left side Locklear. Cupidon. Johnson with the take right down to the rim and will be bailed out with the foul. The personal foul will go against Lyons, her third. So to the free throw line will go Casey Johnson. Johnson, who has 11. Duke with 16. Mia Long with 17 tonight. Johnson makes the free throw. Essex a double-double, 20-point, 11-rebound game. Britton with 12. Been a tough game for Wilson tonight. 0 of 6 from the floor. Just hasn't seemed right. 3 of 4 from the stripe. Johnson made them both. And a timeout asked for by the Pioneers. So just a couple of things to let you know about right here at the end of our broadcast. We will be signing off on WSMG for a few moments. We'll be doing that, and then we'll come back and wrap the game. So we'll be signing off completely. If you're listening online or in town on AM 1450 WSMG, we'll be signing off. We got to change out a part. Our engineer always picks the best times to do those things. So we'll do that now during a broadcast right at the end of the game. And then we'll rejoin you to wrap the game and bring you the post-game interview with Pioneer coach Devin Carter, no matter what the score will be. So from those viewing on the TV end of it, we'll just kind of have camera action, won't say a whole lot, just so that you know that Nick Forsberg Jr. up there. We got the Forsbergs up there who are handling the TV side of things. What a great TV crew, too. You guys do a great job. Outstanding. We got Alex Ogle, who aspires to be Nick Forsberg. So we'll have that little bit of an extended break as soon as the game is over, and just so that everybody's aware as to what's going on. Don't blame me, blame Ray. It's always Ray's fault. 64-55, Tusculum with their largest lead of the game, and it comes at 1:20 to play in the game. Essex hands it off McDermott, gets Britton open for a 3. It's good. What a great play by Newberry to knock down that 3-pointer by Shelby Britton. So it's a 6-point Pioneer lead with 1:09 to play. No, it's not over. Newberry isn't known for necessarily just lighting it up from 3-point territory. As a team, they have made 100 on 337 attempts. That is not math made easy, but I can tell you it's a clip of 297. Tusculum shooting 31%. They've made just 12 more threes and attempted more. 112 of 358. Newberry has done what they want to do, and that's keep this a low-scoring game. Tusculum has 64, Newberry 58. Newberry allows 59 a game. They score 63 a game. Pioneers, high-octane, 77 a game average. Patterson's on the floor, weaving their way through traffic, and Patterson's going to be fouled after she nearly turned it over. So Patterson will earn the trip to the free throw line to shoot 2. Wow, Wingate has rallied all the way back and knocked off Carson Newman today, 68-54. As the chink in the armor comes to the team tied for second in the league. Patterson misses on the first. .67% this year. Makes the second. Mia Long is back in for Patterson. Defense. 65-58 Tusculum. Britton with it with 1 minute to play in the game. Long nearly knocked it away from Britton. Working hard. Stopping, setting, shooting, and scoring. And another timeout taken by Sean Page as they have trimmed it to 5. With 52 seconds to play, it'll take Patterson back into the game. Long will exit after Long nearly came up with that steal. So Britton, who gets the bucket to fall to make it 65-60, now with 17 in the game. Pioneers wrap up the 3-game homestand this Wednesday as we'll take on Anderson. The Trojans will come to Pioneer Arena as Tusculum and Anderson in the top half of the South Atlantic Conference. Tusculum tied for 4th with Anderson and LMU. Anderson was losing to Coker. LMU was handling Queens. And Wingate has beaten Carson Newman, who stays at number 1. Out of the timeout, Cupidon with it into the front court. And she'll be fouled. So it'll be Cupidon who will go to the line and shoot 2. Cupidon standing at the stripe. She's under 60% this year. Last year at Florida State College at Jacksonville, second on the team at 15 points a game. Making the first. And the second. Patterson and Wilson out. Locklear and Long back in. That defensive team back out there. 67-60 Tusculum. Britton handling and takes it across the stripe into the front court. Long at checking her. Oh, and a blocking foul. They had it to give with 33 seconds to play. No more fouls now. That's the 4th team foul. So Britton will inbound it. Britton will lob it out to McDermott. McDermott back to Britton. Scored the last 5 for Newberry. McCarty, Britton a 3. Yes! And Shelby Britton has knocked down yet another 3, and that will be the final timeout used by Newberry as they've trimmed the deficit to 4 with 25 seconds to play. And Britton, I believe, now with 20 points. Essex with 20. I could be wrong. So just a reminder, I believe it will be as soon as we conclude the game, we'll sign off on SMG for about 3 or 4 minutes. It's not going to be very long because we're in the middle of a broadcast. We'll have our post-game interviews. We'll have our stats, our between-game stuff. We'll still have all of that stuff. But on the radio end of it, we got to repair a part. When Ray says we got to repair something, we got to repair something. So we're going to repair something. We just don't know what it is. Usually when it's a part that has an abbreviation, it's important. And this is an abbreviated part, so it is an important part. Meanwhile, on the TV end of it, you're going to sit here and look at Pioneer Arena for a while before we rejoin you as well. So 25 seconds remains. Tusculum ball. They lead by 4. And on the inbound is Callie Patterson. Johnson. And a whistle for a foul as Newberry got a bit aggressive. And that's going to be Casey Johnson who's going to go to the free throw line, I believe. The foul is going to go on Hill, her second. And it's 2 shots for KJ. Each of the last 10 meetings between the Wolves and Pioneers have been decided by at least 10 points or more. Newberry's won 8 of those. The last single-digit win game came by Newberry on this floor. SAC quarterfinals in 2012. Coach Devin Carter has defeated each of the other conference schools during his 3 seasons. The only one is this one, and Casey Johnson gives him a better chance, more realistic chance, by making 2 free throws with 19 seconds to play. 2014, January 3rd, Pioneer Arena, Tusculum won against Newberry. And no, it was not that miraculous Jasmine Parker finish at the rim with point-something on the clock. Foul here against Tusculum is on Cupidon. That's going to send Britton to the free throw line with 13 seconds, and Britton has just had an all-world type of a game here. Guess I've lost the stats somehow. Britton rattles in the free throw. Essex is going to come back into the game. Wilson and Patterson are back in. Arnwine and Locklear. Britton's second is good. She's on fire. On the inbound, Tusculum gets their last timeout of the game because we were struggling. Now both teams are out. 69-65. And will they advance it? Yeah, he's going to advance it on his final timeout of the game. All right, coming up, men's basketball. That'll be coming up game 2 of our doubleheader here today, where the Tusculum men, Coach Nick Pasqua, looking to end a long losing skid to this Newberry Wolves team as well. I would say long losing skid. It's been 3 straight. Newberry swept the Pioneers last season. 102-89, 99-88. Tusculum's win 2016 ended 7 straight losses. Newberry has won 10 of the last 11 against the Pioneers. On the inbound, Duke, Johnson, and she's fouled. Kendrea's like, what do you want me to do with it? I want you to get rid of it. So we get rid of it. Johnson is at the free throw line, and the 5th foul on Reagan McCarty. Elliott King is in for Newberry. With 10 seconds to play, Tusculum by 4, making their free throws down the stretch, which is why the lead has risen. And Johnson knocks in another one. Arnwine and Locklear in. Tusculum at just 39% shooting. Newberry's up over 57%. 22 for Shelby Britton tonight. Casey Johnson adds 2 here. She has 18. 8 seconds. 5 seconds. Hill to the rim. Missed it. Rebounded by Duke, and she's fouled by Essex. Kendrea Duke's going to walk to the other end of the floor and shoot 2 free throws, and the Pioneers are going to have the first win against Newberry since January 3rd, 2014. 7 straight for Newberry. They had won against Tusculum. Will come to an end today. Tusculum owning the longest win streak in the series of 8 games. Duke makes the free throw. 24 and 22, Tusculum will take the all-time series lead, too. It's very slim. Always usually good games, but as mentioned, Newberry's been winning by an average of 17 a game during this 7-game winning streak. Second is no good. We're going to get a lane violation. That's the third lane violation. And we did have some time run off the clock. There's 3.2. 3.2. Gary Roberts is going to come over to the scorers table. We're going to put 3.2 back on the clock. It's been an inordinately long women's game. We've had more gesticulation from Coach Page in this game than we've had by any coach all year. He has been animated on the bench area. And, and I think rightfully so. His team coming in 9-6, 4-4 in the league. They've won 4 of the last 5. They played well. They are without. One thing we haven't really discussed is Nicola Handrick. Maybe one of the best players in our league at guard. And then you throw Essex on the team. She played the first 6. She's been lost for the year. Duke is going to shoot her 3rd and miss. Britton with the rebound, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will end the game. Pioneers are going to win it. The Pioneers win. They knock off the Newberry Wolves by a final score of 72-65 here today at Pioneer Arena. Wasn't always easy. Newberry takes that strong second-half surge, builds a second-half lead of 6, and the Pioneers finally respond, get back onto track somewhat offensively without Sydney Wilson today, who was not her top form. Did not have Maddie Sutton. Nia Long still dealing with the strep throat and still dealing a bit as well with Jayla Arnwy with the illness, but Tusculum good enough to win it today as they knock off the Newberry Wolves for the first time since 2014. Mia Long and Casey Johnson and Kendrea Duke all finished with 17 tonight, 22 for Shelby Britton and 20 for Meg Essex for the Newberry Wolves. Outshoot Tusculum, but Tusculum turned them over 23 times, scored 27 points off those turnovers, and they come away victorious, scoring over 70 points once again. A night where we saw Carson Newman lose for the first time, and Tusculum gets their first win against Newberry in some time since 2014. Again, for those listening on WSMG, we're going to step aside for a few moments. On the TV, we're going to have a shot, like right in this area, of nothing. There's going to be nothing. There's going to be some sound, but then nothing, because I'm not speaking, because I'm not going to be on the air. So we'll step aside. Your final score, Tusculum 72, Newberry 65. Pioneer basketball continues momentarily on the Pioneer Sports Network.